guys, it's Jess. So recently I stumbled across this really cool thing. It's like Time Magazine's name generator, where you enter your name and the year you were born and your gender, and it tells you what your name would be if you were born today and then what your name would be for different decades. And I thought that it would be pretty fun if I took random celebrities and put their names in this generator to see what their other names could have possibly been. So I've got a list of about 40 different celebrities and the years that they were born and my laptop, and we are going to see what these celebrities' names possibly could have been. First on the list is obviously Zac Efron. If Zac Efron were born today, his name would be Dario. If he were born in the 80s, it would be Abdullah. If he were born in the 60s, it would have been Webster. The 50s, Clovis. The 30s, Lemon. The 1900s, Man. Next one, Joe Jonas. His 1990s name would be Rashad. His 1950s name, Albert. His 1930s name, Guadalupe. Moving on to Channing Tatum. Okay, here we go. Channing Tatum's name for the 1980s would have been Luigi. 1960s, Donato, like the pizza chain. 1950s, Hezekiah. 1890s, Humphrey. 1920s, Gilmer. Gilmer Tatum. Hilary Duff. Oh, just kidding. I forgot to change it from male to female. If she were born in 1950, Hilary Duff's name would be Queen. I feel like that's very fitting. If she were born in the 80s, it would have been Marcella. 1890s would have been Mathilda. Leonardo DiCaprio. His 1940s name would have been Waldo. And if you were born in the 1910s, we would have had Virgil DiCaprio. Dave Franco's name for the 70s would have been Eugenio. Eugenio Franco really just sounds like a pedophile. No offense to anyone with the name Eugenio, if anyone has the name Eugenio. His name in the 30s would have been Irene. Ashton Kutcher. Side note, if you have not seen this like 6th grade girl rating Ashton Kutcher fanfiction for her middle school talent show, you need to watch it. It is life-changing. I will put the link for that in the description below because you just need to watch it. If Ashton Kutcher were born today, his name would be Javion, something along those lines. 2000s, Stetson. I don't know who has named their child Stetson. 1980s, Eugenio. I guess that name is more popular than I had thought because that's the second time it has appeared so far. 1920s, Ellsworth Kutcher. Ed Sheeran. If Ed Sheeran were born today, his name would be Gianluca. It's spelled Gianluca. 2000s, Hank Sheeran. That'd be the weirdest. No one would listen to his music if his name were Hank Sheeran. 1920s, Bartley Sheeran. That's my favorite so far. Bartley Sheeran. While we're on Ed Sheeran, let's go over to his best friend, Harry Styles. If Harry Styles were born in the 1960s, his name would be Sal Styles. Doesn't have the same ring to it at all. If he were born in the 1890s, his name would have been Gay Styles. Stop the jokes now. Nick Jonas. Nick Jonas's name would be Oakley Jonas. 1960s, Werner. So we could have had a Werner Jonas and a Guadalupe Jonas. 1890s, Rice. That's a grain, not a name. Shia LaBeouf. Craig LaBeouf. 1940s, Wanda LaBeouf. 1910, Julia LaBeouf. And yes, I'm still under the male names. His name would have been Wanda or Julia. Liam Hemsworth in 2000, Joseph Hemsworth. 1980s, Norris Hemsworth. 1900s, Clement Hemsworth. Oh my goodness, if Shailene Woodley were born in 1910, her name would have been Cornelius. Ellen DeGeneres. If Ellen were born today, her name would be Gianna DeGeneres. If she were born in the 60s, her name would have been Yolanda. In the 1910s, Flossie. Literally, did people name their children Flossie? Okay, Lucy Hale's got the best names. If she were born in the 1970s, it would have been Lucretia. 1960s, Beverly. 1940s, Bernice. 1910s, Robert? Okay. If Mila Kunis were born in the 1930s, her name would have been Bernice. If she was born in the 2000s, it would have been Frances. If Selena Gomez were born today, her name would be Greta. Demi Lovato's 1990s name was Mary Cruz. Her 1950s name was Fonda. And her 1890s name was Flonnie. The leader of the Illuminati, Beyonce. Nope, Beyonce's name isn't popular enough to exist. Why? Probably because she's in the Illuminati. Kanye doesn't exist either. Wonder why? Once again, Illuminati. Sean Combs, or as he is more commonly known, P. Diddy. If P. Diddy were born in the 1950s, his name would be Eugene. Jimmy Fallon's name for the 1980s would have been Javier in his 1960s name would have been Herbert. So that's pretty much my entire list. Some of the names cannot be found, and once again, I'm just going to reiterate the fact that it's probably because they're members of the Illuminati. Just going to leave it at that. I'm going to put the link for this name generator in the description below if you want to check that out and see what your name would be if you were born today or in a different decade, or what your favorite celebrity's name would have been. And also go ahead and give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. Thanks for watching and stay gold.